Hey guys, Deva here, and it's more than a week since my last upload, mostly because there is not much to do for me in Monsanto except the new modded quest packs, so I was grinding a little bit of Terraria and Minecraft. But the wait is finally over, everyone's favorite monster is here, Frostfang Barioth, and because Barioth was just not enough to demolish us, they made a faster, stronger and more aggressive version of it. But that's not all, of course, they made it as well tempered so we can experience real death mode. With Frostfang's new armor there is some changes in crit throw weapons like Longsword and Greatsword, but I will explain more on that later in the video. You guys probably know I never played Longsword, so once again I had to ask a friend for gameplay footage. And no, this time it's not le baguette, but it's mi pasta. And we are talking of course about the Longsword god himself, Peppo. The man who single-handedly made Capcom fix the helm splitter hit detection somewhat and has some of the fastest Longsword speedruns. In case you don't know him and you're trying to learn Longsword, there is no better place than that than on his channel. So be sure to check out his social media, everything will be linked in the description. Punishing Draw used to be a 2-piece bonus from normal Barioth, but now it's a 1-piece bonus, so it's super cheap and became very viable or even the new meta for Longsword. Before we get into the builds, I'll explain the skill a bit and show you the actual numbers. The skill description is adds stun effect to draw attacks and slightly increases attack power, and because Capcom is not capable of writing detailed skill descriptions with actual numbers, so people know the actual boost they're getting and get confused always like on hunter nodes, we have to of course data mine. So slightly increases attack power means 5 row, and 5 row is less than 2 attack boost, which is 6 rows, so it was considered as pointless skill on efficiency. You could legit just get 2 more attack boosts instead of it, which boosts every single hit, while this with less damage only crit draw attacks. And what about the stun numbers? To explain it easy, to get the first KO on a monster you need on average 200 stun built up. It can be 100 or up to 400 depending on the monster. So the Longsword crit draw attack deals 25, so you technically would need 8 crit draw attacks or 7 and less with Slugger, on the monster set of course. But status does disease, which means per second the build up does go down, so if you're not very fast chaining up crit draw attacks you would never hit the KO thresholds, or take double as many hits to reach it. And especially the second build up is much higher, and the third one is totally not reachable by any means, since it will require 100 of crit draw attacks and the monster will be probably dead by then. So wasting 2 armor slots with very bad skills to obtain something that Impact Mental made 10 times faster, more consistent and easier, and 2 attack boosts paying more damage made these skills completely useless. But of course it's understandable, some people used it as a meme or for fun, but it still doesn't change the fact that 2-piece was just negative efficiency. Now all this changes since Frostcraft armor comes with super good skills and takes away only 1 slot. And with that said, let's straight jump to the builds. Build number 1 is the recommended DPS build, which runs Master's Touch and 40 hits of sharpness, so technically infinite sharpness since we have 100% crit chance. If you're a pro player you can use 2 sharpness upgrades instead of 2 attack, which gives you about 1% more damage having purple, but therefore the durability sinks to 20 hits. In case you ever drop to white, this will be a massive damage loss, so 40 hits of white is more comfortable. You can of course adjust this build, for example dropping 1 Slugger and health boost for more attack or whatever you want. Slugger is not gonna make almost any difference than decreasing the KO hit amount by 1 or 2, but still went with it because why not over 1% attack. Augments should be health regeneration since we run peak performance, and attack up rate for more damage, or affinity in case you don't feel comfortable with hitting always tenderized weak spots. Quick Shift is only a quality of life skill, and I know a lot of you like to use it, but on a frame by frame comparison you can see the tiny boost, and anyway you barely use crit draw attacks. So I only use it on the next build, which is the Frostcraft meme build and comes for free. So here is build number 2, the Frostfang Frostcraft Frosty Frost Draw build, and not sure if you guys remember, Peppo had the Frostcraft run killing Tigrex with just EI slashes. Now you can perform even better since you can fit Punishing Jaw in the build, which allows you to get KOs without even using Impact Metal, or for example it's really useful for TA runners. Since you run Frostcraft to maintain your damage efficiently, you have to keep your meter up, which requires a lot of sheathing, and it's a good practice build for Yai counters. Even though Crit Draw is the perfect cheap skill, you never want to use it unless it comes with the armor. You always want 100% crit on all the hits, just like Greatsword. Because if you have as the only crit source Crit Draw, doing a True Charge Slash or a Health Slater won't be crit and a massive damage loss. Quick Sheath level 2 comes for free with Volcana armor, so I decided to fill it up to level 3. You also are super tanky thanks to Divine Blessing and Healthboost, which also comes almost for free without dropping any damage points. Raw skills don't fit very well in Frostcraft builds, but therefore you have a Frostcraft meter which gives you an average of 20% damage increase if it's filled. You can also use Elemental Longsword, but there is no point investing in Elemental attack, mostly because Longsword scales almost purely from raw and its Elemental motion value is super low, so you can just legit swap out Longswords. But sometimes Elemental Longsword is better for multiplayer since you can't build up Blast as easy. Cold Essence comes also for free, so we just take it and can be activated by getting stunned on any monster or blight giving monsters. Cold max it out, but anyway, one level of Cold is all you need since it's the biggest boost you gain. Slugger level 3 in addition for the extra KO build up, and Protective Polish to maintain the 40 hits of sharpness. Anyway, single draw attacks playstyle doesn't drain much, so it's really not a big issue going with Protective Polish here. Augment should be 1 affinity, 1 health regen, and the last one either defense or element. Build number 3 is a true max DPS build, but loses a lot of comfort such as health boost and Master's Touch, so you're better off have farmed Voidfish skills plus. We gain about 5% more damage than the first build and Slugger's secret. This increases your KO build up by 60%, so this means if you need 8 hits to KO Monster, you will need only now about 3 or 2. Please consider that thresholds get multiplied by 3.5 when getting more than one player, so you will need 3.5 times longer to KO a monster on multiplayer. You can eat at the canteen for the food skill Feline Slugger by putting 6 red meats together, but don't use Impact Metal, the KO build up has a cap of course, so it's gonna be wasted. 2 times sharpness upgrades for that extra 1 to 2% damage increase. If you feel uncomfortable having the monster 100% agitated and hitting only tenderized head, then you should either use the first build or replace attack boost with crit eye to get some extra comfort affinity. Comfort affinity is to remain high crit when missing weak spots or when monster lose enrage, because then you drop about 70% affinity without weakness exploit and agitator 7. I will display 3 extra builds made by Peppo for some more variety, which can only be used on Safi Longswords due to requiring Monster's Essence or Sharpness upgrades. For example, build number 4 is a Slugger Secret plus Master's Touch build by using Teostro's Essence. Here of course you lose 10 raw for the attack upgrade, but the build becomes much more comfortable. In numbers that's about 5% less damage and no health boost than my first build, but therefore you have a higher KO rate, quick sheathing, 100% crit chance without agitator active. Number 5 is his Frostcraft build, and here again we use Volcana's Essence to free 1 slot up to be able to fit more skills in, since Volcana's armor has absolute dogshit skills. Compared to mine, here we gain a bit more raw damage, about 5%, therefore loses Divine Blessing. So if you don't care about Divine Blessing on Frostcraft, this is the way to go build. Just a reminder again, using 2 attack or 2 sharpness is completely up to you since you know your skill better if you can maintain the 20 hits of purple. Using 2 sharpness over 2 attack is always about 1% more damage when fully buffed, but therefore over 5% less damage if you drop to white. So if you can't maintain 100% purple in the whole hunt, don't go for 2 sharpness increase. Number 6 and the final build of today's video is the Ultra Max DPS build. Using 4 handicraft and only 1 sharpness upgrade 5 to barely reach 10 hit of purple and therefore maximize the DPS, allowing you to fit almost all damage skills in the game. So this is called the new meta build, if by your definition meta is the highest damage possible. This build will be seen in future speedruns. I only recommend this build if you're a professional player or a speedrunner because maining 10 hits of purple is quite a challenge. And to answer the upcoming questions, why Gamma parts? Because Teostra Gamma Helmet allows you mostly to fit one more level 1 skill, which is very crucial for affinity usually. And no, having 100 less defense does not change absolutely anything, especially with over 1000 defense, since you're way over the soft cap. The Gamma armor complainers are just paranoid and ignorant, numbers don't lie. After 700 defense already you hit the soft cap, which rarely 400 more defense would allow you to even take one more tiny hit of damage, but that's how defense works in every game. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and if so, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you want to see next from me. Also, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if you haven't yet, feel free to hit the sub button. It's completely free and will notify you whenever I upload. You can unsub anytime you want, and with that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting, guys.